Now, let's in fact get to Kapil Gupta, founder of NEETprep.com. Kapil Gupta, there's a lot of time and energy spent extra by students who want to crack the NEET paper, and at the end, they are met with the disappointment, all because someone out in the system was negligent or someone tried to profit out of it. And the information coming out is that the CBI is investigating it, and they are finding it that the leak has taken place, and an exam like the NEET, which is considered to be one of the most prestigious exams in the country, is compromised often now. What is rotting at the system's core?
I don't know. It's a matter of investigation, but I know one thing for sure. I got into IIT in 1997. That year, paper got leaked and it happened again. And I distinctly remember for myself, I had to prepare again. I was sleeping day after the exam. My dad came and told me, get up. I said, exam just happened. Why are you bugging me again? And he said, you have an exam again after 2 months. It was the worst period of my life. I distinctly remember. These kids are going to go through very, very difficult times. I'm specifically recommending a few things to all the kids and parents. Kids should not remain away from their home. They should come back from Kota, Sikar, Delhi, Mumbai. They need to be in their home. They will require a lot of support from their parents. This is going to be a significant mental health crisis. It needs to be managed. Probably Prime Minister needs to come on TV and say, it is just an exam, not more than life. Doesn't decide the worth of your life. And kids don't need to overdo it. They can't study for 16, 17 hours a day and sacrifice on their sleep. Try and study for 10 to 12 hours. Think through what you need to do for next 2.5 months. Have proper food, and just keep saying this to yourself. You'll be fine even if you don't get through the exam. It is not a do or die exam. It is very, very important to understand it. This is a terrible day. NTA needs to literally be removed out of this whole thing. It has happened every year, and it is absolutely shameful.
Well, as you in fact pointed out, do you think that, as you said, it's been happening constantly with the NTA? Do you think that it is time that it must be acknowledged that there is a need for a system overhaul? Because you're talking about how many thousands and more than that of students being prepared for years together for this exam and then being cheated to an extent.
So 22.5 lakh. 22.5 lakh affected households.
That is the number of students who would feel cheated with this. This
is not a student. These are households. There is a buzz in the neighborhood. That kid is preparing to become a doctor. So 22.5 lakh households. So we are talking about 1.1 crore people. This is absolutely horrendous. Someone needs to be held accountable. And by the way, I don't think you can stop the leak with the way exam is conducted right now. How can you conduct a pen paper exam amongst such a big population without paper getting leaked? Some driver, some peon somewhere who doesn't earn enough would have all kind of incentive to leak it. How do you stop such a thing? This is like a mindless thing that has been going on forever.
Well, it is a plan for rethink as well. We also have with us Advocate Bhavin Vyas, who's petitioner and president of the Vidyarthi Vidya Suraksha Samiti Ahmedabad. Of course, Bhavin Vyas, even you would be disappointed with the manner in which this has happened. Isn't it high time that this entire NTA is in fact overhauled? There is a problem. It has to be looked into. It can't keep happening alternate years. You can't put students, lakhs of students, into distress like this. But what is the solution? As we had our earlier guest saying, Kapil Gupta, it's a huge number of students who are involved. And there are several loopholes. You have a peon, you have people who are in the middle ground, who are distributing it, who are involved in the preparation. Anyone could become that leak that needs to be plugged. But how could this system be, in fact, taken care of? Can't we use new technologies as such? For example, if in a class, when I don't know how practical it would be, but you have, in terms of movie theaters, you have the movie released only at a particular time on an electronic mode. If those kind of things can be put into place, wouldn't it be much better?
Firstly, I will thank News 9 to raising this issue, and we also applaud you, because in 2023, same issue has happened, and News 9 has raised that issue. We were the petitioner in Supreme Court. We asked for re-NEET examination in 2023, where whole paper trial, even FIR were done, and everything was there. But unfortunate part was that the Supreme Court did not hear our petition, and instead they said that there should be a code of conduct, which they laid down in 2023. They even removed the existing NTA head. The same thing will happen now. That's what we are feeling. Even after Supreme Court guiding and making code of conduct, if such thing happens, means this has been done deliberately with an intention of monetary or a financial gain to many students and many bureaucrats. It is simple thing we could understand. This has been done for monetary and financial gain and nothing else, because in 2023 Supreme Court has given code of conduct how to follow, from where to take the papers, in which car to take the papers, where to publish it, in which format they need to be binded up and then taken to the centers, how the centers have to open the papers. Everything has been listed by Supreme Court. If still paper gets leaked, means it has a very big monetary involvement. And this goes to the leading government right now, and government has to be cautious and take a cognizant step against the culprit who can be identified and who will be identified, as CBI has already started the investigation, and
And
to the
yes,
prima
yes.
facie,
In fact, the government has gone ahead, Bhavin, the government has gone ahead, given it to the CBI. They are carrying the inquiry because once they got the report, probably they are waiting on this. But again, it's always a foolproof method. There is a huge number of people who are involved in the distribution network of these papers itself. Anywhere a leak can happen, and to plug that, it's going to take a humongous effort. Meanwhile, we are also joined in by Advocate Anubha Srivastava Sahai, who in fact is an educationist and president of the India-wide Parent Association. Anubha, you know, one crisis is that the exams have been cancelled. The second part of it is that the mental condition that these students who had invested so much of their time have to go through. This cannot be that the mental health of students also have to be affected because someone decides to cheat into the system or they try to compromise the system. This has a huge stake. And when it comes to mental health of the students, I know a lot of students who have been dedicated day and night studying only for that NEET exam to crack it as much as possible, because there's pressure from the family, there's expectations from the family. Some of them have in fact taken loans and got their students into coaching centers to ensure that they crack this exam. When there's so much onto it, this mental stress of a cancelled exam, preparing for another, it's going to be difficult on them.
Thank you for having me on this show. And this is a very serious issue, and this is not for the first time that paper leak or some kind of irregularity in, especially in NEET exam, is happening. Time and again, we can see the last year also it happened. Few years ago also it happened, and there was no action which was being taken apart from maybe against some students and parents and some people who were involved. The system itself is at fault, and due to which the children and students are suffering, parents are suffering. Those who have invested time almost for 3-4 years for this NEET exam preparation, they will be under a lot of stress now, because it is not easy to again reappear for the exam and again study